Follow Cross Atlantic Gaming on Twitter and Instagram at CAG Podcast. That's at CAG Podcast, and you'll keep up with all the latest and greatest things that fly out of Chocolate's brain. Actually, who needs more chocolate? Gosh. Risky, hit it.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 92 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week, as always, are my co-hosts Chocolate Bear.
Hello.
And Moose.
What's up, boys?
What's going on, everybody? How was everybody's week?
Could be better.
Okay. Moose?
Yeah, it's been eventful.
Okay, hey.
So yeah,
Not boring then.
Not a lot of time for games, but sometimes we have those kind of weeks.
True. And when there's not a lot out,
Right.
what are you going to do anyways?
You just play Apex a lot.
There you go. Gotta whittle down that season pass to get your money's worth, right?
Hey, I'm a quarter of the way through the battle pass, and I'm
Nice.
like 50 coins shy of getting enough for next season's battle pass.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they
What,
seem to give you like 100 currency or something like every 5 levels.
How many levels are there on the pass? That's
I
what
want
I'm
to
trying
say there
ask.
are 100.
Yeah, I'm sure there's 100.
Oh, that's good then.
I got my first air flippy trick thing, so that's pretty sweet.
Oh,
Air flippy
jealous.
trick. Oh,
Yeah,
like when
when
you're
you-
dropping.
Yeah, when you jump out of the plane and they do something weird. So I got
I
it
think-
for
Is it Gibraltar?
Nitro.
Oh, Nitro.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Is Gibraltar the big dude? Or is that Bangalore?
so
Which
yeah,
one's the giant
Gibraltar.
dude?
Yeah.
Gibraltar's the big dude. Not Nitro. You got it for, oh, God, his name, Octane.
Yes, Octane. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I call him Nitro.
That giant dude. I think Shopa has the one where it looks like he like pulls out like a lunch tray and then like does like spins and flips on it and stuff.
That's awesome.
So weird. But it's fun to watch, fun to look at. I mean, all right. Well, before we get into that stuff, we do have an Apex highlights video that dropped or is dropping today when the podcast comes out on YouTube. Correct?
Yes.
Chocolate.
That's completely correct. It's
This Tuesday. Okay.
This Tuesday.
Featuring the one and only Chocolate Bear.
Unfortunately, it is highlights of me. I apologise to
I
everyone.
mean, you're the legend.
now.
This makes sense.
Right.
Well, you'll see some sweet kills. You'll see a couple of cameo appearances from Moose
Wee.
and possibly a few others from the community. I'm trying to think
Woo,
now.
woo.
So yeah,
Nice.
yeah, check it out. It's not long. It's 3 minutes.
Short
Okay.
and sweet.
It will be the best 3 minutes of your life, guaranteed.
Oh boy, that's
I don't know.
That's a lot of hype.
Yeah. Ugh.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Touch wood. Touch wood.
If you have a very, very sad life, that may be the truth.
Oh boy.
But we can fix that.
There you go. We also have a free Patreon post that's dropping this Thursday.
Yes.
And what's going on with that?
Well, I wanted to do something slightly different. So a few months ago, we shot some ideas around about me reading a book.
Yes.
Then you two suggested
Yes, please be Sam Jackson.
there is only one book that I should
Yes.
read. So Go to Sleep, Beep Beep is dropping, and it's the free post. I've just realised I didn't put an 18 plus tag on this, so I'm
Fine.
yeah. There's a few mother beeps and a few son of a
You're going to get put in the kids' YouTube logarithm. It's just going to say children's story.
Well, lucky enough, I've put it on Patreon. I haven't dropped it on our
okay.
YouTube page. I may do that at a later date, but yeah, you can watch me try and read a few words that are far above my reading age.
But if you're a parent and you've ever tried to get, or even a babysitter, an aunt or an uncle, and try to get your kids or nieces or nephews to go to sleep, you absolutely understand every single page and every single word in this book. So.
Yeah, I mean, as I was reading it, I had some feelings to some of the lines. It's very good. Hopefully, it's enjoyable. It's a laugh. It's a giggle. It kind of is sometimes what comes from one of my Patreon posts of Chocolate's ramblings. So yeah, just sit down, enjoy. Let me know what you think of it.
All right, so everybody go check that out. You can find that at patreon.com/CAG podcast.
Yeah, there'll be a tweet as well on the day it drops, so check it out on Twitter. Look at that. What a segue.
Awesome. Well, hey, another week in gaming. What have we all been getting into? Let's start with Chocolate. And you're playing some Halo 5 doubles. I don't even know what that is. So,
do you know what I meant? I've just finished work. I meant to fire up my Xbox just to find out what the actual mode was called. But essentially, it was 2v2. So Maldo
that sounds like doubles, yeah.
Yeah, doubles. I think there's
just has a specific name.
Yeah, and I couldn't think what it was when I wrote that down. But myself and Maldo Rob jumped into some Halo 5. He said, "Do you want to play some?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm up for anything." And yeah, I enjoyed playing Halo 5 and playing the multiplayer. It was a nice change from playing the MCC campaign.
So is it similar to when you play, is it duels in Modern Warfare?
Yeah, it could be gunfight type.
Gunfight, there you go.
Yeah, gunfight type.
So as soon as you're dead, you're dead, and then it's up to the teammate to...
No, sorry. So it's the first one up to 25.
Okay. And you keep respawning.
You keep respawning. You have your... not your battle rifle. You have your... I can't even think what... Well, you have your pistol, but the big Halo gun, not the battle rifle, but the other one that has the mark. You know when you walk around the map in the campaign, it has a little waypoint on it, so it'll tell you to turn left or right. It's the bigger gun. Everyone's going, "You idiot, it's this gun. How do you not know what it's called?"
I'm not sure, Bear.
I would say at least these two idiots have no idea what you're talking about. So.
Yeah, I can't think. It's the gun you always start off with in Halo.
And it's not a battle rifle.
The bigger, it's the bigger gun. And then you have other weapons placed in and around the
assault rifle.
Assault rifle. Thank you so much.
Oh my god! I know. How specific of them? It's literally just called assault rifle.
Well, yeah. Here's the list of their guns: assault rifle, battle rifle, chain gun turret, DMR, Gauss turret, hydro launcher, Magnum, railgun. They're pretty generic with their gun names.
I apologize.
So it's not like AR and then there's 5 different ARs.
Yeah, basically they're like
assault rifle.
Yeah, state your purpose. Okay, that's now your name.
Done. Next.
Too funny.
So I'm an idiot. So yeah, we played that. It's quite funny because you have the sniper rifle spawn in, and it gives you like a countdown of when the sniper rifle turns up. But it was so fun to play another game where it's just the two of you taking on 2 other individuals. And the first couple of games we did really, really well. I think we were cruising, and then all of a sudden I suppose it gives you that, okay, you are at this level, and all of a sudden brings in an opponent that is either above you or on the same level as you, and we got smoked.
I was say, so when skill-based matchmaking kicked in, it was just like, well,
yep.
guess we're done here.
Yeah. Your 15 kills earlier, well, that was wrong. You weren't playing someone decent. I also had 2 beers, so that probably didn't help either.
In a first-person shooter? No, probably not.
Yeah, but the game is so fun, and as I said, to have that change-up of playing the first set of Halo games and having that stupid button configuration, which doesn't make sense, to going to a normal style button layout was, just so much better.
You should have seen when they had the black and white buttons. It was awesome.
No. I'm all about the control set of now for first person shooters.
Right.
It's I can't go back into the olden days.
Yeah. Was it black and white buttons? Wasn't that OG Xbox?
Yeah, OG Xbox. Halo, the first Halo. Like one was grenade and the other one was flashlight or something like that.
Okay, so they had. That's
they were
true.
awkwardly
I
above
forget.
your A, B, X, Ys.
Yeah, I always forget how old Halo actually is.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so used to and like tuned into just the Master Chief Collection at this point that it just kind of feels like, yeah, that came out like 5 years ago or whatever. But no, I guess that series started long
It's like
long
10
ago.
years ago, wasn't it? The Master Chief Collection.
Is it that old? I have no idea.
It might be. I don't know.
It's funny going through. I'm going back to Halo CE. We're only 2 levels off. I think we're on the last 2 levels of that game, but the amount of reused assets that they use to prolong the game.
Well, you didn't like running all the way to one end of a level and then running all the way back to your ship in just about every level that you do?
Yeah. So we're in like a spire or something. I can't remember the exact. It's been a week since I played it. But all it is you go up the level. So you go up 3 or 4 flights of stairs. Yep. And guess what? You come down. And then you have to go to the far end of the of the corridor. And then again to the other end of the corridor. It is so... It's amazing how we've come so much forward in games and how they don't have to necessarily keep reusing the same asset or the same square.
I was just getting ready to say we haven't come that far because Fallen Order, literally you run to one end of the level and then you have to run all the way back to your ship on the other end of the level.
That's true. That is true.
That's like the only one that you don't have like some sort of fast travel or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Funny enough, I do remember kind of moaning about that back in December.
And that's just, gamers being complainers because we can.
Well, I think games now, we hold them up so high, and there is a minimum standard now that we want, and sometimes the guys don't cut it, do they?
And then longer you delay games, the higher the expectation goes. So
and that's why Half-Life 3 will never be a real thing.
Right. Also, what are the other ones people are waiting for that hopefully will be? It's that Fable. Yeah, Fable 4.
Fable 4. Well, just think about Cyberpunk. If Cyberpunk is not popping, there's going to be a revolution, a revolt.
It's only been delayed once so far, so.
True,
but just because of how well received The Witcher 3 is, I think it's more what he meant.
That's true.
We shall see.
We shall see. But yeah, Halo 5, it's great. Jump back into it.
Yeah, as far as I remember, like I played a little bit of the campaign, but I remember everyone like loving Halo 5's multiplayer. Like that was the thing in that game. Like campaign was kind of like but everyone loved multiplayer, so
yeah,
makes sense.
And I think they've got daily logins for rec packs as well at the moment. So every time you log in, you get a free rec pack, which I cannot remember what on earth they do. So
I was gonna say, at what point am I just logging into like 10 different games each day just to do like a daily and playing like 10 minutes just to do that?
Well, yeah.
Plenty of them.
Every game.
True. All right. I'll talk about a game. I played some Dead by Daylight this past weekend, which is my first time playing it. But if you're not familiar, that's it's kind of like Friday the 13th. It's a 4v1 horror game. So like one person's the murderer of some sort, and then the other 4 people are just random characters. And the object of the game is for the 4 survivors, we'll call them, for them to start up 5 generators, I think, and then escape. But that whole time you have one person who is one of the monsters, which there's a bunch of them, and they all have like different abilities and powers, but they're going around just trying to murder everyone. It's super interesting. The weird thing is that we had a party of 5. So we obviously had the 4 survivors and the like bad guy all in the same party. So that kind of made the game a little more difficult. If we could do it again, I think we probably would have told whoever was the monster that they had to get out of the party just for like that round and then come back when the round ended, because it kind of made communication limited, which is a super huge advantage for the monster at that point.
Doesn't Friday the 13th separate even if you're in a party, or do you have to go to game chat? Because I remember like it would only, when we were playing that before, you could only hear the killer if they were close to you, or vice versa. The killer could only hear you talking if you were close to them.
I mean, if you're in a party, I don't think that the actual game could alter how a party would work on the Xbox. I don't think. But if you're in like a game chat within the game, that could definitely do something like that. Because you know how you can be in a party on Xbox, but you can like, swap it to game. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we were doing, but maybe that's just the way you should play. You know what I mean? Play that game is everybody just switch to game chat, and then
Yeah, 100%.
during the when you're in the menus and preloading and everything, everybody's mics are hot, so you should be able to talk and hear.
Yeah, and I also didn't really play it online or like with randoms at all, so I don't really know how that works when you're not in a party. Probably exactly how you're talking
Right,
about
proximity
Friday
chat.
the 13th. Right. But yeah, so that kind of put an interesting dynamic on the game because as the 4 survivors, you can't really broadcast what you're doing. Like, hey, meet me over in like the southwest corner. Let's work on this generator together. So a lot of times, like there would be times where one of us would get killed because what happens is the killer will knock you, and then he picks you up and he like essentially just like hangs you up on a meat hook, where you would hang like cows and stuff.
Yeah, let all the blood run out.
Oh, it's super gruesome. So you get hung up there, but then you have a chance for other survivors to come and lift you off of it, and you get like a second wind. You're damaged, so you're a little slower and noisier because you're like you can't breathe and you're bleeding and whatnot. But there's med kits and that kind of stuff to kind of repair yourself. But one thing that happened a couple times is like I would get knocked, I'd get put up on a meat hook, and then I would be like maybe Shopa would come up to me or something, and he would start to try to get me down because it does take a little bit of time. And I'd be like, why is no one coming to get me off this thing, even though he's right there getting eat. Yeah, exactly. Or you have to be like, man, this generator is taking forever, like even if you're not at a generator, just because you're trying to throw that person off. So it's kind of a weird dynamic having everyone in the party together. So I would suggest kicking everyone out, or not everyone, but the one killer.
And they have just about every horror movie villain as a character that you could play or download.
Yeah, so it was like Jason was even in there, which is kind of funny.
Right,
and then,
from Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and then the Stranger Things kid, like there's a bunch of DLC characters, so we didn't have access to a lot of people, but I know the Stranger Things kids were put in it as survivors.
Is it Demogorgon a bad guy you can be?
I don't know, but that would make a ton of sense. I saw
Yeah.
the dude from Scream, like the Scream ghost mask
Scream
guy.
Mask. Isn't that
Yeah.
what his name is?
Ghostface.
Isn't it just Scream Mask? Or is it Ghostface?
I thought it was Ghostface.
Okay,
I think
that
I
would
think
make
it's
more
Ghostface.
sense.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
So that's kind of funny. But once you're playing, it's obviously like a good, fun little party game. That holds it's very specific in the player count where it's 5. So,
Right.
but a lot of times that works out when it's like, well, we could play a battle royale or something, but we have a 5th person, or like there's an odd man out. So it's a good game when you have the +1. But one thing as we were playing, we played a few rounds of it or whatever, but it took us around to realize that you can put like modifiers on all of the survivors, and the killer also has a bunch of modifiers. And when I say there's modifiers, like as a survivor, I think it was like 5 pages of like 10 perks. It was like 50 things that you had to click through and read, and then you could assign 3 of them, I think. And that was just for like the perks. There was also things you could bring with you, like med packs and toolboxes, and tons of that stuff to also look for. So the amount of like customization as far as the character you bring in game with you is actually kind of absurd. Like I wasn't expecting that at all. I thought it was just going to be like a 4v1 thing, and you have your objective, they have their objective. But like each one of the killers has different powers, and then you can also add on those different abilities. Like I had a dude with a bear trap, so you could just set bear traps around the map, and then when someone gets caught,
Cool.
they'd like start screaming, and it would like light up part of the map.
I'm trying to think, is this the game that had all the issues with licensing?
That was Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday
was
the
Friday.
13th.
So Friday the 13th, they had to stop adding content to the game altogether. I think the servers are still up, and you can still play it, but they can no longer actually add anything to the game.
Right.
So it's kind of just, it is what it is at this point. So who knows how long that'll be supported.
But it seems like they're supporting, what is it, Dead by Daylight still, right? Like you said, there's Stranger Things. And
Yeah, I feel like the Stranger Things one was like a couple months ago, maybe like 3 months ago even. But yeah, there's a lot to this game. I don't think I would probably hop in solo.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless you're just trying to make some friends, because you definitely have to communicate with your 3 teammates. But yeah, I mean, it can get intense even when you're in a party with the killer. You're playing with people like Waterloo, who's this evil demon scarecrow thing, but he's coming at you with like a Russian accent in the party, and it's just some of it's just the most ridiculous stuff ever. But it's still pretty because in game when the killer's close to you, your heartbeat starts to go like louder, and I think it starts to vibrate your controller too. So like it gets super intense when the killer's near you, and then you're just full out sprinting, just trying to get away from them. So it's a fun little game, and it's not like I know it's a horror game in quotes, but you're in a party with like your friends, so it's not that scary or anything like that.
Is it cross-play, or were you all...
we were all on Xbox. And it is in Game Pass. That was one of the reasons we picked it. It was just because everybody had access to it without having to pay for it. So
right.
Worth a download if you think that would be interesting, or if you have, for whatever reason, you have 5 people. It's kind of that's what our weekend turned into. It's like, well, we need some games that hold more than 4, just so we can get more people in. And speaking of that, we can which it's weird that you played this, Chocolate, because Moose and I also did this weekend. But
yeah, I thought this was weird.
Yeah, Human Fall Flat was another one that we had downloaded where the player count I think is 8.
Right.
So,
okay.
What do you think
7
of this one?
in, right?
we had 7 in, yeah.
Well, 6 in a troll.
Guess who the troll was? It was Moose.
It was so
Spoilers.
much fun. Just dragging people off cliffs. That's all I did pretty much the whole time.
The game is absolutely bonkers. And I was trying to, before I came onto the podcast, I was trying to think of how to explain the game. And my only thought was it's a puzzle game,
Right.
but you're a claymation person, and the only way you can get through puzzles is by using your left and right arm, by either dragging something, pulling it, pushing something onto a button to open a door, which takes you to the next level. Right. And that's kind of the dumbed down version of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a party puzzler is what I would call it.
And like, if you were ever a little kid and bought those, like, little 50-cent gummy guys that you could throw against the wall, and then their hands would just kind of like walk down the wall for you, that's what these guys are. They basically are just like little balls of dough with sticky hands, and their hands will stick to anything they touch until you let go of it. And
they're kind of just like little Pillsbury Doughboys. Like you want to poke their bellies, because when you don't put clothes on them, they're just these white little Pillsbury Doughboys.
Hang on, you can put clothes on them.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Yeah, so that I said,
that far.
We had 7 people, so it was kind of like if you just hop in there, you don't have name tags above you, so no one knows who they are. So we all had to put on, like, I was a penguin guy, and like Shopa was a DJ, and Dan Pod was a cop, Megan was a pink ninja, and then Moose hopped into the party and was just a plain white default guy. So luckily we knew exactly who he was, because everybody else had dressed up their little character guy.
But when I jumped out to play with my wife, couch co-op, and I switched to the skeleton costume.
That's one thing that kind of stinks, is that we figured out, because we had room for 2 more.
Right.
Because we had 6, and Moose was like, hey, you got room for 2? So him and Meg were going to play. And we were like, yeah, sure. But you can't split screen and play online with people. Right. So it's kind of a bummer.
And literally,
that would have been nice.
Dude, the best part about it is I jumped off to play with her, and about 15 or 20 minutes into the first puzzle, she's just like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep now.
Like, okay. Well,
there's no other way that was going to happen.
Right.
Like, that's how it had to happen.
That's the way we are. That's why I play 90% of my games standing up now, because if I sit down or lay down and I'm not doing something actively, I fall asleep. Yeah. So I stand about 2 or 3 feet from my 55-inch TV and play games that way.
I think that's the optimal viewing point distance.
At least I'm standing up, So.
Do you ever do squats while you're waiting?
No, but I'm actually thinking about getting one of those Bosa balls or whatever it is, the half balls.
Yeah, we just bought Meg's mom one of those for Christmas.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to get one of those and stand on it while I play games to just, work on my core.
That balance?
Yeah, there you go. My balance, my core, and, make a better moose.
That's what we used to do. This was years ago, obviously, because I've gained like 50 pounds in the last few years. But we used to...
Can that frame hold another 50 pounds?
Well, eventually I'll start rolling.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, if anything, it'll be easier to get around because I just kind of have to like tumble forward, and we should
Have
be
you
okay.
ever seen My 400-Pound Secret or whatever those shows are on TLC?
How do you keep 400 pounds a secret?
Yeah, forklifts.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, either way, when we used to play Call of Duty, when it would come out every year, we would all do push-ups in between games, depending on how many deaths we got. So it was like 4 or 5 of us in a party all the time, and if you did really well, you didn't have to do a lot of push-ups. If you sucked, you had to do a ton of push-ups, and then people would just come into the party just like it was great. And I wish I would do that more, just not even tell anyone, just be like, oh, I got knocked in PUBG, I'll go do push-ups until we're done. But then when I come back into the party, it's pretty apparent that it sounds like I just ran 7 flights of stairs, and so I don't know how I'll work that out. But
Were these your shore days, your Jersey Shore days?
yeah, for sure.
Had to get them arms
swole.
built for beating up that beat.
Exactly, dude. You get it.
Dude, I watch TV.
I love TV. Cabs here. So yeah, I mean, Human Fall Flat. It's a ton of fun. Like I said, it supports 8 people, so that's a decent amount. And when you're kind of just going, you get a starting point, you get an ending point, and then there's just puzzles the whole way that you have to figure out.
But really, like,
get to
any
the end of it.
more than what, 4 or 5, and people are just in each other's way. So then you just start pulling people away from their objectives. And
Yeah, like Chocolate was saying, it's kind of the mechanics are your left trigger is your left hand, and if you hold down left trigger wherever you're looking or touching, it'll just attach to that thing, and until you let go, you're stuck to it. And then your right hand is your right trigger, so you can do things like if people are trying to climb up a wall, you can jump up behind them, grab onto their head with your right hand, and it just like yanks their head off.
exactly,
Not off,
you just
but-
push them down and help yourself up.
But yeah, there's definitely like an optimal number that's probably like 4, because
Right.
then otherwise these puzzles don't take 8 people to solve, so everybody else is just kind of like trying to jump over each other like World War Z zombies, just trying to like get over walls and
Or
stuff.
drag people off walls or whatever.
Or that's the thing. Moose hopped in, and then his first thing was just like grabbing people from behind and then just trying to walk backwards like off of ledges with people.
I didn't know how to do anything, and that's the first thing I learned how to do. And I was like, well, this is what I'm doing. This is my job.
This is the game.
This is my job now.
It's the levels are quite short as well. I don't think, unless you're really bad at puzzles.
Yeah. I did the
think
first
30
one.
seconds is probably max.
Whoa, I
No
suck at this
way
game, then.
there. Yeah, I was going to say, I did the first one in about 15, 20 minutes because you have to pick up that beam and lock it into place and then jump up on it, hoist yourself on it. And every time I would jump up on it, the beam would flip over and knock me off. So
I will say once you get the controls down, it all feels a little easier because
like-
the controls are kind of wonky as far as like you have to look straight up in the air and put your hands up and then jump into walls to like pull yourself up. It's really weird.
right thumbstick and left thumbstick basically move the motion of your hands as well as your view at the same time. So it's hard to get that down for sure.
It's definitely something that is just clears your head, even though you're trying to work out puzzles. I didn't find too stress.
Oh, we laughed so much.
Oh, the game
I would say
is
my
so
face
ridiculous.
hurt.
Yeah, me too. I was having a hard time breathing and my face hurt.
The only thing that I was kind of worried about, or am kind of worried about at this point, is like, will that charm wear off? Like, I don't think it'll ever be as funny as it was that first couple hours where we hopped into that game initially. Like, I don't know if it's like, hey, let's get 8 people together so we can play some more Human Fall Flat. I don't think it's going to be as big of a hit the second time, I guess. But, I mean, we'll see. We had a ton of fun. So
yeah, I think it's along the lines of the ultimate chicken horse type games that it depends on who you're with, your crew. Depends
how many
on
drinks people have had.
Yeah, just exactly. If you get a bunch of wild people and loose cannons in there, then it's definitely going to be a good time.
Yeah, for sure. I no complaints about that one. That was another one that was in Game Pass, so everybody can download it. And yeah, hit any of us up if anyone ever wants to play it. Definitely down to run a few levels in that game. Definitely a lot of fun.
Yep, I'll find where to die and pull you off.
Perfect. All right, Moose, did you have anything you wanted to add on it? I know we talked about Apex a little bit earlier in the season pass, but anything exciting this week? Or
Yeah,
new?
something exciting, but it's going to be gone by Tuesday. So during this weekend, you can play in Kings Canyon again. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Only for a weekend?
Yeah, it was for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Thursday to
dang.
Sunday or Thursday to Tuesday, something like that.
I think they're getting people prepped
Yeah.
to remember because I can't remember. It drops in March, doesn't it? Kings Canyon. So I think it's just a little refresher.
Oh,
for
so
people.
it is going to be a second. We covered that at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if
you'll
they're
have the
gonna-
option of the two.
I'm not sure if they're going to have the option or if they're just going to switch it.
No, they
to-
switch it out, so
Yeah.
you'll lose.
Oh, okay.
So you lose. Oh God.
The place we are now.
Yeah, the one with
Yes.
the hot and the cold.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that disappears. It's sometime in March, and then for the second half of the season, it'll be Kings Canyon.
Will
But yeah.
does Canyon have the train? It's like
No.
my favorite thing.
No, they have the
Kings Canyon have
airship thing.
That's it. Dropship.
Yeah,
Is it
dropship. Yeah, dropship.
Doesn't
Yeah.
this one have one?
No, that
like,
one has the
Mirage all over
party yacht.
The Mirage
Oh.
Voyage.
Yeah, it's
they
the
did a
party yacht.
Voyage. Love
yeah
it.
they did a limited time event, and I think that's stuck or
It's
was part of
definitely
it.
still
It's
there.
awesome.
Yeah,
It's just full
great.
of high tier loot. So
Oh,
It's real
it's,
funny your first time dropping there, not knowing any of the stuff happened, and then lighting
Yeah.
up a Mirage who isn't a real player. Because I definitely did that my first time I
Or-
hopped up. I was like, oh my god, and I was like, oh, they're everywhere. What is
or
that?
when somebody hits the party switch and all of a sudden it's just confetti and hurricane horns, and you're like, what in
Yeah.
the hell is going on right now?
That's perfect. If you land there with another team quick, you flip that switch, and then there's
Yeah.
just chaos.
And here's a little tip too: the disco ball in the middle of the room is actually a one of those loot shields. So if you knock it
Yeah.
down and explode it,
Are
and
you
it always,
serious?
Yeah, and it always has a key for the vault in it too.
Dude, that's hilarious because I looked at that thing,
Yep.
saw it was a little smaller, and was like, there's no way that's actually a thing, and didn't even think to shoot at it.
Yeah.
Just walked right by it.
It's the only one on the map that's guaranteed to have a vault key in it.
Well, so I found something out a week or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there are guaranteed certain areas or the certain balls. That
The
sounds
vault
wrong.
keys.
Have vault keys, and it's something to do with if I think it's the thing on top that carries them. I don't think all of them are red.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you see red on the fly, I'll call them flyers. They're not flyers, but on the flyers,
Right.
then I believe that has a vault key in it.
Only if you shoot it down gold or any color.
It doesn't matter if it's
Okay.
red. It will have a
Sweet.
vault key. Oh my god, I am not brain today at all.
I am not brain.
I am not brain. Yes, so that's it. I believe that's what it is.
Okay.
I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and that's what they were talking about, because there's an Easter egg in there. If you look in some of the vaults, as soon as you go in, if you look up, there's like a square, but it's I can't explain it, but there's like a ledge, and in the ledge there's pictures of dogs or cats, and there's something about if you shoot them they blow up, but then that ties to an Easter egg somewhere else on the map, which is 5 different pictures of dogs or cats. It's really weird.
Huh.
I
Have you seen the refrigerator glitch this week too?
No, I haven't seen that
It's
one.
in the, I don't know which city it is, but you know how they have those kitchens?
Yep.
Well, one of them you can get inside the refrigerator and you essentially just disappear. And people have been hiding in there. And I've watched so many videos of people just setting up caustic gas tanks and stuff like that and just destroying everybody hiding inside the refrigerator.
That's so awesome.
Awesome.
So there's
Good way to deal with that.
Yeah. A lot of people use them as like storage bins as well. They'll go pick up a bunch of ammo and then go throw it in the refrigerator and then go back to it and hide in there.
When they need it. Yeah,
Right.
that's smart.
Awesome. That kind of reminds me of, I've been watching a little bit of Fortnite for some god no reason.
New season, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's reasons.
And yeah, and they've got things like the porta
you just-
potties.
You just going to
in the
spoil the
map.
whole news section for me, Bear?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna.
kidding.
I didn't see that you had Fortnite season 2. Sugar, sorry.
No, you're good, bud.
I'll just mention the refrigerator part then. Yeah, so porta potties, and you can hide in the porta potties. It's
Yep.
brilliant.
And phone
Oh my
booths.
god.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now I won't say any more.
Okay. No more spoilers.
Yeah, I'll try not to. I mean, I've got to spoil something once a show.
There you go.
Fair enough. Well, do we have any other games anybody wanted to touch on?
Nope. Nothing to play right now.
Yeah, I'm going back to weird Game Pass games that I missed and never got a chance to play.
That's also because Meg just got back into playing games too. So you're trying to find some things that she can level max at.
She just needs a goal.
Right. She's Pirate Legend, which is quite a goal there.
Way too many hours. Is what that is. All right, cool. We can move on from that then. I do want to touch on Game Pass Roulette. We're playing Fishing Sim World Pro Tour at the moment. And we told you guys that we were going to have a fishing tournament here for the last week of Game Pass. So, Moose, do you want to tell the people a little bit about that, where we're fishing?
Yep.
I guess is really it.
But yeah, because it's going to be, we're going to call it the Cross Atlantic Gaming Open. So anything goes, any type, any species, out of Miller Lake. And I think there's a ton. There's like 8 or 9 different species in there. And as of right now, I'm going to post this picture in Game Pass Roulette. But I have caught I want to say it was a 14-pound muskegee.
Yeah, I think it was 14 pounds. So all you're trying to do here, folks, is get the heaviest fish that you can pull out of Miller Lake, which is that the first big lake you come up to?
Yeah. And just basically go to a open fishing and pick Miller Lake. And then I think we should do it just everybody has the default tackle boxes. So there's 3 default tackle boxes. You can use anything in there at your exposure for this lake. I suggest watching some tips or the tutorials. It'll help you out as far as the locations.
Now they're going to beat us.
No way.
I was going to say, aren't we staying to a static location? I thought we were just going to fish off the dock.
Anywhere in the lake, Bear.
We have one lake. You can go wherever you want.
Yep.
So you're going to have to learn how to row your rowboat.
It's really easy. Right trigger is go.
Yeah, it's just the map up the top I didn't understand.
Well, you better learn or you're going to lose.
So, yeah, just pull up your map, look at where you want to go, and then just, you kind of remember where you're at from where the boat dock is and go towards the general direction of where you're at and then check back your map. It's, it's not the best way of doing it, but that's what I've figured out so far.
And then so that it needs to post a picture in Discord in
the Game Pass Roulette page.
Or tweet us it.
Right.
Tag us in your massive fish. Oh, that sounds wrong.
Nope, it's just the fish.
No, I want to see your whopper. Show me your whoppers.
I will DM you that straight away.
Let me see your
No fish tails. We got to have photo proof. So make sure you take a screenshot or it's not going to count.
There you go. So,
what's our prize, boys?
I was just going to say, what are we putting up?
I'm going to say $10, $25.
$25.
I think that's
$25. We'll pull from somewhere. We'll find the money. I'll hit up family if I need to. We'll get this done.
I'll get my mom to wire me some money.
All right.
I was going to say you've got a hot bet, haven't you?
We have what?
Yeah. Why don't we take it out of your gambling proceeds?
I made that money disappear, huh?
Yeah, you did. That was a magic trick.
Now you see it, now you don't.
You want to watch me make $200 disappear?
Oops.
Fastest Super Bowl I've ever lost. All my bets were done in the first half of the Super Bowl. It's like, well,
so
all right,
fun.
No reason to watch this.
I love games.
So yeah, those are, you got Miller Lake, standard tackle box. Anywhere on the lake, post a picture in Game Pass, tag us on Twitter. Winner with the heaviest fish, not including the 3 of us, obviously, will win a $25 gift card to wherever you want.
Wait a second. So I think they got to beat us.
Ooh.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's
don't
fair.
You think? I think they got to beat us to win. If not, it goes back in the pot.
And then, for
what is this? A
competition?
snowflake podcast? Everybody gets a trophy.
So they've got to go 14 pounds or bigger.
That's right, brother. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Do you know what? I'll take that.
I guess my thing was I just didn't want to have to award you with $25 next episode was my thought.
No, we don't win. It just goes back into our,
back into the next tournament winning.
I was going to say, we could do a rollover.
Yep.
So if nobody
like
beats
a
us,
skin?
we'll roll it into
Yeah,
next
boy.
month's tournament.
Yeah, we can start making it the CAG skins.
I
One of
love
us
it.
wins it, keeps going into the pot until we get beat.
God, we started far too high then.
Yeah, we did. Most definitely.
Yeah, but 4 months from now, when somebody's winning $100 for winning a Rocket League tournament,
Hell yeah.
they're gonna be happy because it's gonna be me. So,
No, you can't win.
oh crap! We literally just went over this.
Yes.
I'm the worst. Okay, well there you go, guys. That's what we're doing in Game Pass Roulette. The game might be a little boring, but hopefully that little prize will
Right.
spice this up for you. So.
Kind of like when we had that competition in Supermarket Shriek. That game was so stupid, but we all got so competitive about it.
Because
that
people
was
were
brilliant.
posting pictures. And,
Right.
All right, let's do this thing. I know what I'm doing after the podcast.
Fish on, boys.
Fish on. All right. Well, hey, let's get into some news. All right, Moose, what is going on in the news this week?
Well, I don't know if you heard about it, but this thing called the coronavirus is a thing.
It might be affecting me sooner than I thought it would.
It's affecting everyone, whether you like it or not. So the official name of it is COVID-19, and it is causing cancellations among trade shows worldwide. And that does include the gaming trade shows. So unfortunately, all three of these companies made a statement that says that their employee safety and prevention of further infection of the disease is the reasons they're pulling out of these trade shows. So Sony will not be at PAX East or GDC 2020.
Well, I didn't want to play The Last of Us next weekend anyways, so whatever.
And so Facebook will also not be at GDC. I guess they usually do a big Oculus presentation there. Now they will just have digital announcements this year during GDC. And also Final Fantasy XIV, the Square Enix team from Japan, will not be traveling over to Boston for PAX East as well. So that, you know, all those people have to come from the Far East, and I don't think it's a terrible idea that you try not to travel if you're over there right now. No. So
do you think it's a terrible idea for me to still go to PAX East next week?
Nah, bro, you'll be fine.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to wear a gas mask.
They have like one confirmed case in Boston, I think, so you'll be fine.
Well, hopefully that one dude doesn't show up here, because that shit will spread like wildfire.
Yeah, just get you some
hand sanitizer, isn't it? Hand sanitizer.
I would do soap and water, because
I'm going to do hand sanitizer in my mouth, on my face, and my eyeballs.
Jesus.
Nothing's getting in here.
But not all bacteria is bad bacteria. That's what I'm saying. Soap and water is the key. Wash your hands all the time. Don't touch your face.
Deal. I'm just not going to touch anyone.
Just
That's
touch
impossible there.
Just touch Lou's face.
That's we're just going to be coughing in each other's faces the whole weekend.
So gross.
It's disgusting. Yeah, that sucks though, because like the last few years when I go there, I don't really focus AAA
Right.
that often. It's more of an indie thing for me, just because it's
Aligns.
easier. I can see 20 games in a day rather than like 3. But knowing that The Last of Us 2 demo, and this was going to be the first place it was going to be playable, I was like, that's amazing. Like, I'm definitely going to do that. And I'll wait in line for like a couple hours to do this. And now I guess I'm not going to do this. So, all right. But yeah, I don't know. These stories come out and they definitely do kind of worry me a little bit, because if you've ever been to a convention like this, like I'm sure Chocolate can attest to with XO19, it's kind of, you're just like shoulder to shoulder with people like coughing into their like elbows, and it's not great. You're in close proximity of everyone. If anyone has that stupid thing, we're all going to get it.
Yeah. So XO19 wasn't too bad crowd wise. I think the only time you had that kind of claustrophobic shoulder to shoulder was queuing for a game, and the big, the game that everyone wanted to play. Lucky enough, I wasn't too bad. I was safe. I did feel a bit ill a couple of days later though.
That's, I think, like just in general, people always come home from those conventions like sick with like even just a cold or something.
It's just like a hangover from mass people.
It's just a giant petri dish. Yep. That's all those giant conventions are. So I'm definitely excited, and I'll let everyone know if I'm alive. Well, I guess you'll know if I'm on the podcast next weekend.
Well, true. I was going to say, you're going to Instagram some of the
Oh yeah, for sure. I did that last year, and I'll probably do it again. Just tune in to CAG Podcast on Instagram. I'll be taking lots of pictures of all the games I'm playing this weekend, so should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. So, got some new Switch news. There's a new Switch Lite color as of last week. Coral joins the already vibrant family of Switch colors for the mobile-only handheld. The color choice is on trend as Living Coral, was the Pantone color of 2019. So that pink Miami color,
These are just
loves.
like pastels.
Yes,
I
exactly.
was going to say,
Easter
they are
egg
hitting
colors.
that pastel colour set, aren't they?
I like it. I love those colors. I love pastels.
I mean, worked for me, As long as it plays the games, that's all I care about. So
I was saying I'm going to throw a case on it anyways. So, well, I guess that doesn't really cover that much of it if I did have one.
right. So, yep, that's what we got for Switch news. Up next, a little bit of chocolate spoiler from earlier. Fortnite 2 Chapter 2. It's dubbed Top Secret. The season is currently active as of last week. There's a new battle pass. It could potentially unlock Deadpool. I don't think they've shown the end of the battle pass yet, right?
I think that got data mined that Deadpool is the tier 100 skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can tell you some more. There's a secret battle pass inside the game.
Oh, yeah,
So
they're
as you-
Deadpool challenges.
Yes, so
Battle pass
inside
inside of a battle pass.
Yeah, bro.
something. Yeah,
Battle
so
passception.
if you go into the hub where the I think there's a table. There's
The new
like
lobby, yeah.
there's a vent, and in the vent you need to click on the vent, which you go into a Deadpool hideout house. Well, not house. Yeah, hideout's the best explanation. And there's some clickable things within the area, and there was something about I'm sure it said weekly challenge. So there's weekly challenges within that area. So if you don't know about it, YouTube it, click on the air vent in the lobby. All the Deadpool stuff is in there. So yes.
Yep. And then also, this is the first time you have to pick a side. So you got to pick your agency, Ghost or Shadow, and then you'll complete challenges to unlock special loot. Challenges include defeating new henchmen and new NPC bosses. So they have agency locations. There's, 5 locations, and each one will have an NPC boss. And if you kill that NPC boss, you can get their gold tiered weapon. And then there's also weekly and daily challenges that include each of these agency locations as well.
So is that like on every match that's going to happen? He'll be there
I
every
believe
match?
so, yep. So it's kind of like the PvPvE type deal.
Right, so that's just it'll be a good point of interest then for people to go land near or by to try to take him out.
Or like in Tarkov or Vigor. I don't know about
exactly.
Vigor, but Tarkov,
Vigor,
they have those.
Tarkov.
Yeah, but they have those location boss fights. It's the same type of deal.
That's cool. That's interesting. I always wonder how far they can stray from their like original formula, because I know when they did like the mechs, people hated that.
Yeah.
When
they brought in the robots.
Yeah, I always think it's kind of a weird, because once you do it, you're kind of locked in for a whole entire season with this kind of thing, I would assume.
Well, not Epic, though. They change things every week.
Do they, as far as taking out like big core mechanics? Like they didn't remove mechs, even though everyone hated them.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because they had planes in there for a long time, too, and everybody hated that, I think.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know. I guess it depends on if you like base your whole concept of that season around that one thing, and then everyone hates that one thing, it's like, oh no, what do we do?
Right.
So I mean, hopefully people like this. Anything that makes a hot drop happen and just brings confrontation front and center at a specific location, I'm all about that stuff. Like I love how Apex has the hot loot or whatever it's called, high loot areas, like,
and they have a beam of light that just shines up in the sky and says land here.
Yeah, and it's like in traditional BRs like PUBG, for example, you know that if you land in the biggest city, you're going to get in a gunfight, but you're going to come out with the best loot possible. So it's just kind of that same idea, except for it moves around, which is cool. So,
have you seen any of the streams of season 2?
I haven't watched it at all.
Nah.
So, I don't know how new this mechanic or what they've done to the game. So as you're playing, as you're unlocking bits of the battle pass, save for me for Apex, nothing would be popping up on screen to say you've unlocked.
Oh yeah,
tier
yeah,
25.
I have seen that, Bear.
Yeah, so Fortnite now, with challenges, with battle passes, etc., it pops up on the screen.
Right. At the middle,
And
like
it
at the
tells
top
you.
middle of your screen, it has like a big star or a crest or something
Yeah.
that says you have
Yeah,
completed.
X or Y, or you've killed 50 henchmen, or you've used
Right.
the battle rifle and fired 2,000 bullets. And I love it. I thought at first it'd be super intrusive in terms of if you had a fight, would it still pop up and block
What you
someone
can
you're
see.
fighting against?
Sure.
Precisely. However, looking at it, I do like the way they're, I don't know, it possibly kid friendly, but they're pushing that. Oh, look, you've done that part of your battle pass or that challenge that you were trying to do.
It's also it's just a good quality of life thing, like because all these battle passes
Yeah.
have thing like in PUBG it'll be like get 5 sniper rifle kills,
Right.
and if you don't want to use sniper rifles, you don't want to get like 14 kills and not know that you could have stopped using a gun you didn't like 10
Yeah.
kills ago. So it would be
Right.
nice if it just popped up on screen like, hey, you can stop using that gun or stop throwing grenades or whatever. So yeah, that's a decent quality of life change, I think, for sure.
Yeah, so good. I hope other games do implement.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all stealing ideas off each other. Well,
It'd
we'll-
be
we'll
nice
talk
in
about
Apex for
Fortnite.
sure, because I have some memory issues right now, and like I'll have tasks and I'll look at them, and then I'll load into the game, and like 2 minutes have gone by, and then I'll be like, oh crap, what was the location I was supposed to drop at? And I look at the
Yeah.
map, and nothing is ringing a bell, and I'm like, guess I'll do
Guess
it
I'm
next
doing this-
time.
Yeah, next match.
yeah, yeah. I'm like you, Moose. I lose it all the time. Got no idea, but yeah.
So it'd be nice if you could just have like a small, even translucent window that you could, toggle on or off that just has your challenges off to the right.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what, like, in things like Destiny, for example, you can tag specific tasks, and
Yep.
then if you hit select, they just kind of pop up on the side. So you
Yeah.
can, if you have 13 tasks or whatever, you can just tag the ones that you actually want to pop up, or the
Yep.
ones you're working on, and then you have quick access to them. So that's a system like that for all these games, I think, would be pretty awesome.
So, yep. A couple other things, like Chocolate mentioned before, they have outhouses and also now phone booths that you can hide in. Let's see. There's a new lobby with a bunch of different access options. One being the secret Deadpool hideout that Chocolate mentioned. There's a bunch of new weapons released. You can check out a list of those, and it seems like they rotate in and out weapons. Like they added the drum gun back and took away some sort of rocket launcher, and it seems like they just kind of cycle in and out their weapons.
You see that a lot in other games when they need to work on
The meta, basically.
Yeah, if they have to nerf or buff something, they'll just
Right.
take it out for a month or whatever while they work on it, and then cycle it back in, and it kind of becomes a fun. Or that's like, just keep bringing Destiny up, but with their multiplayer maps, each season they take a couple out that they need to rebalance and kind of rework some things, and then they'll put them in the following season. They kind of rotate things in and out when they have to work on them.
Right.
It freshens it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that too. So then
Yeah,
maps
and it
that are
doesn't
gone
make
for
it-
like a month, when they come back, you're like, oh, cool, this map's back. So
And also, it doesn't make it to where everybody's doing the same exact thing. I.e.,
Right.
Destiny's multiplayer sometimes gets to where everybody's using the same weapons, and it's just it's all the same, and it's not
yeah,
fun.
because if you're not using X weapon, you're at a
Right.
disadvantage right off the bat.
Exactly. So, and then one last thing, something new for Fortnite is you have a new customizable Maya skin. So there's different challenges that you can do to unlock different pieces of, clothing, from scarves to shirts to pants to shoes. And that basically makes it to where you can have your own skin that's customizable to you the way that you want it. So that's the first time they've ever done anything like that. And other than that, it looks like they're doing a ton of things to keep people involved. So they're still making billions. Seems to be working.
Right? Is this anything that'll get either of you into this or no?
I am just so not
Bad
good
at building.
at building, right?
It sucks when that one core mechanic stops
But-
us from playing this game.
Ladonian's fairly efficient at building, so if he wants to play this game, I may jump in with him. But he's got some like aces that he plays with, so I don't know if he's got time for a lowly moose.
Yeah.
Well, he carried me to a victory once, so if he'll take me on, he'll definitely take you.
Yeah, and I think I have like 3 victory royales in my whole gaming career, and one of them I made the final kill, and I literally hid in a cave where nobody could build, and waited for somebody to jump down there and shot him. So
I have one win in Fortnite, and I played that game a decent amount when it first came out, but I just could not build.
Yeah, if you
whatsoever.
can't build,
no. And it's like I don't know. I've never found a battle royale where I couldn't get at least a win at some time. Like one a day feels like that should just be possible at a bare minimum. And then this one was like once in like 3 months. And that's probably another reason I don't want to play that game. It's just because I can't win ever.
that's kind of my goal in Apex every day is if I get a win, it was a decent day. If not, I go to bed a sad moose.
There you go. We don't want that.
Well, it happens. Just wake up the next day and try again.
Boom.
So that's about it for Fortnite. But I got another game you might want to talk about here, Risky.
What is it?
Sea of Thieves?
Oh, do I want to talk about that?
I'll let you talk about PUBG after we talk about Sea of Thieves.
Okay. Deal.
But, so there's a new content update for this month. It's called The Cruise of Rage. Have you guys heard about any of this yet?
Nope.
Sweet.
a little bit.
So Captain Flameheart is back. I don't know if you played any of that content, Risky.
Yeah, he's the big baddie.
Yeah, and he's returned and taken over the Molten Fortress, and he's brought the Chest of Rage along with him. So, like the Chest of 1,000 Grogs and the Chest of, is it 1,000 Sorrows or Drunk? What is the?
Yeah, I just call him the Drunk Chest and the Crying Chest.
Yeah, well now there's a Fire Chest.
Okay, does it light me on fire?
Well, you see, it gets hotter and hotter and madder, and if you don't throw water on it to cool it off, then it will explode and basically almost like a nuclear explosion, light everything on fire that's in its path.
I will say that these are like the worst types of chests in this game. Like with the stupid Chest of Sorrows, whenever it starts to cry, somebody has to like go hang out in the ladder on the side of the boat with the stupid chest till it stops crying. This seems like it's gonna be the same thing, except for you have to
you're gonna have a
water.
bucket boy, basically, that just runs back and forth and puts buckets of water on it.
All
but
right.
it can also be used as a weapon. So you can go put it on somebody else's boat, and you can accelerate its anger by agitating it, shooting it, hitting it, whatever, and set it off on somebody else's boat and it will also damage skeletons as long as they're not the ashen skeletons.
Okay, cool.
So I guess the new ashen skeletons are going to be impervious to fire damage.
Yeah, so it's nice that because they added fire in just as a core mechanic a couple updates ago, or maybe even last update. I haven't played in a while. So I guess that this was kind of expected to have a whole update based around fire things, because I think the Molten Sands Fortress, I'm assuming, is in the Devil's Roar, which is like the fire part of the map.
That's another thing that you may not be super happy about, is that is going to be the only Skull Fort open.
Oh my god, is that a real thing?
Yep.
Oh, I'll skip this whole update because of that. That's awful.
Yeah.
I hate it over there.
Yeah, so they locked every one of the forts down other than that one, and it's going to be the only active Skull Fort.
Well, if you ever wanted to do some PvP in Sea of Thieves,
no doubt,
everybody's going to have to be there. So,
and all the flame chests are going to be there, and so you can go to Duke in the bar, and you can start the Chest of Rage bounties, and you get top tier currency. I think it's going to be like doubloons, and other exclusive loot for doing these bounties. And there's all sorts of new cosmetics and stuff unlocked with this new update. So go spend your gold.
Do it.
And that's about it for Sea of Thieves. And now you can tell me about PUBG.
So PUBG has an update coming, update 6.2. This is going to bring Team Deathmatch, which sounds weird because this is PUBG, which is like the first big battle royale. And now they're going to bring Team Deathmatch in. So this is an 8v8 mode with set weapon classes that you get at the beginning of the game. They're all in like small arenas, which are just smaller sections of the bigger maps. And when you get killed, you're going to respawn near your teammates. They're not going to have like
Battlefield kind of.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to put you, I think, on the teammate that's furthest away from combat.
Gotcha.
But from the videos I watched, the actual like maps seem like they're relatively small, so that could get interesting to see how the spawns hold up and if you're getting spawn camped or anything like that. That's just team deathmatch. That's cool. I think it's a cool addition just for people that want to get better at the actual shooting mechanics. Especially for like.
So you don't have to sit around and wait to come back like I do all the time.
Well, yeah, that, and just like if you're not good at close quarter combat in PUBG, which is definitely like my weakest part, is if somebody comes around a corner, chances are they're gonna light me up because I can't
Freak
handle
out.
close quarter combat in that game at all. So having a mode like this where I can just go in, I know I'm gonna be having constant gunfights just to like learn different weapons, learn how they fire. Just get your aim down a little bit before you hop into game. Or like people who are hopping into PUBG for the first time, this might not be a bad place to just start in general, to be like, okay, this is how shooting feels in this game. This is how the hit boxes work. This is
right, because I don't understand why, but shooting in PUBG is different than any other shooter that you play.
And I think that's because it's probably more realistic than most as far as the bullet physics go, where you have to actually, if you're 300
Bullet
meters
drop.
or yards away from somebody and you try to hit them with a sniper rifle, you're going to have to fire 3 feet in front of them. Although I think Battlefield, to be fair, has always had that type of, what do I want to call it? Ballistics. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's a good addition either way, though, because it's an option and nothing wrong with having more options.
Right. Especially when that game was, a shell to start with. It was literally just one battle royale with one map.
Yeah, and now they have so many maps, they're taking maps out and stuff. So
yeah.
They're also enabling crossplay lobbies. The game has had crossplay for a little bit. If you played in the recent months, if you're playing on Xbox, you might notice that when you kill somebody or you get killed by somebody, they'll have an actual Xbox logo next to them. And then you can also be getting killed by PC players or PlayStation players. But one thing you couldn't do with crossplay was join up in a lobby with your friends that were on a different system, if that makes sense. So it'd be like an Xbox lobby, like party playing against maybe a PS4 lobby and a PC lobby. Now you can have 3 friends on 3 different systems and you guys can all actually play together.
Yeah, it's like cross-party play.
Right. So obviously, an awesome change. That's live in the test server right now. This whole patch is coming out March 3rd. So that's in a couple weeks. It was supposed to come out this Tuesday when the podcast drops, I'm pretty sure. But it's getting delayed because one thing that's nice about PUBG is they do have the public test server, which people can go in, test stuff out before they actually put it in the live version. So,
and all this stuff is live in the test server right now, isn't it?
Yep. Team Deathmatch is there. The crossplay stuff. They did a loot balance, which I don't really need to talk about, but there's going to be more meds and less long-range weapons on the newest map, Karakin. So that's something. There's a ton of changes that you can check in their patch notes. Figured I didn't really need to get into the nitty-gritty about all that kind of stuff. What else? The parachute follow. If you're familiar with Apex, like everyone is, they're now going to have like follow the leader kind of thing when you're parachuting, which I think will be super helpful.
The chocolate drop.
God.
Chocolate can play PUBG again.
Yay!
So yeah, it's definitely like I'm comfortable for the most part in Apex parachuting. I'm comfortable in Blackout.
It's weird in PUBG.
It's weird in PUBG because again, I think it's just
you got to use your body
so
like a
wing.
wing.
Actually know how to work a parachute, and that's tough.
Yeah, or even skydiving, you got to use your body like a wing, or you drop like a rock.
Exactly. So it's completely optional. Everybody in your opening lobby has to select to do it, and then one person gets to select to be like the leader or whatever, the drop master, I'll say. It's a good addition, not only for people who can't parachute in that game, but also I would do it no matter what, because the 3 other people can just be looking around to see who's dropping where near you and that kind of stuff. So,
right. Yeah, that would be a lot more useful, having one person on the lookout while the other person's taking in the safety.
Yeah, exactly.
Frustrates me in Apex when no one's looking around and I'm the one who's trying to lead us to wherever we're going. It's like, is anyone dropping with us? And everyone's silent. I'm like, okay.
Sounds great, guys.
Thanks. Cheers. Hot drop.
The last big thing that I think is worth talking about is that they're merging every map in the game into one playlist now. So you can no longer like just choose Karakin. If you click, it's just going to be one playlist. You click it, and then you'll get Erangel, Karakin, Miramar, Sandhawk.
Snow map. Yeah.
And there might be one more. Or no, they took out Vikendi. That was like the winter map. That one's out right now. So I think it's just those 4. But I'm not sure if this says something about the player base. Like if there's not enough people in the other modes, so they kind of need to just throw everybody into one hopper and then spit people out where they need to go. I don't know. It's just kind of a hunch. I also don't know if Karakin was just on its own because it had just come out, and this might just happen in PUBG normally. Like when Vikendi came out, it might have just been by itself.
Sure.
And I wasn't playing then, so I'm not positive. But yeah, so you can no longer pick what maps you want to play. It's all just one
Random.
playlist, and you have to get good at all the maps now. So
Isn't that how it was when they first introduced multiple maps? It was just kind of luck of the draw which map you got?
it was, yeah, so like when Miramar first came out, it was like you're either going to get the grassland or you're going to get the desert, but it seemed
Right.
like the desert landed
Every time,
every
almost.
single time, and people
Yeah.
liked Erangel more, so it was kind of like, let us choose, please.
Back to not choosing.
Back to not choosing. So I think it's good, though. I've just been playing Karakin, so it'll be nice to go back to some of those other maps, I guess, until I realize how little loot there is on all the other maps that aren't Karakin.
Yeah, because there's
that place is
so much
loaded.
space.
So, cool changes. Team Deathmatch, I think, is awesome. The parachute follow thing is fantastic. That's another example of people copying people. And I think that's how these games get better. Obviously, Apex came out and had a lot of good ideas. Now there's pinging in PUBG. There's group follow or parachute follow. And, these are just staples that I think should be in all Battle Royale games that from like here on out, or even old ones, it should all be implemented in, because it's a lot of smart changes. So, yeah, that's PUBG. Go out and play it.
Awesome.
It's in a good state right now, in my opinion. So
Sweet. Thanks for the info, dude.
yeah, buddy.
Just real quick, I had one more Apex story that I remembered when Chocolate was saying about non-helpful teammates. Last night, I had 2 of the nicest gaming randos in the world. So I got the key card from the disco ball off the ship. And so they waited for me at the door of the vault, didn't open anything. I went in and grabbed some stuff. They went in, and then they told me to come here and gave me all their gold loot that they got out of the vault.
That doesn't happen in video games.
Never, ever. And then I promptly died.
Are you sure those weren't robots?
Yeah, right?
They just weren't real people. They're just programmed to do nice things.
Literally, they'd just be like, come here, and then they'd throw a gold shield on the ground. And it's like, okay.
And you're
all
like,
right.
no, like I'm not the one you want to waste the shield.
Yeah, don't
Take
waste
it
this
back,
stuff
please.
on me. But I think we ended up like 2nd or 3rd in that game, so didn't get
That's
a
pretty
win
awesome.
yesterday.
It's always nice when you get, like, just not a quick tangent, but with Destiny, when you play comp, like I'll play comp a decent amount, and like mid-match or sometimes the end of matches, I'll just see that I got a message sent to me, and it'll be somebody that I'm playing against, and it's always like,
Yeah.
can't wait to see what garbage this person has to say. It's usually like, you're trash, or
Sell your Xbox is my go-to.
yeah, that's a great one. But the other day, it was Crimson Doubles is going on, so it's a 2v2 mode. Well, it was going on. And the best way to win those matches is to grab heavy, and then you just hold down the heavy area. So I had a machine gun that kills people in like 3 bullets.
Yeah.
It's super overpowered. And me and Shopa sat on it, because like you don't lose games if you get to heavy first in those modes. So I got a message right after the game, and I was like, well, I know what this is about. It was about me using that hammerhead for the whole entire match and just killing everyone. But this kid sent me a message that said, GG, is the hammerhead like the new Thunderlord, which is an old LMG in the game. And I had a whole, like, we went back and forth 10 times talking, because it was like he had just come back into the game, and it was nice. It was a nice change from all the garbage that you usually get from like random messages from people online, because it's usually all just like hate. So,
when you destroy somebody and you just get a message that says reported. It's like,
yeah,
wow,
it's like,
that's
all right,
salty.
dude. Well, good luck with that. We'll see how this goes. I usually
Thanks
take
for-
those as a compliment, where
Yeah.
it's like, you're trash, but I know I went had like a 3.0 KD and like 30 kills.
Yeah.
It's like, am I? I don't know. Thank you though. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to tell me that you're upset that I beat you. So
They hate you because they ain't you.
boom.
So, all right, back to the news.
Let's go.
We got some new games on xCloud. Chocolate. Wait, not Chocolate. Everybody else?
Yeah. But no.
Chocolate's got like one game on Xcloud, right?
These are Android only, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, I'm still running terrible Master Chief Collection.
It doesn't
does
even
not
run well
at all on my
no.
internet.
Sorry, Bear.
I know. Wow.
So, for all us Android users that are in the program, Journey to the Savage Planet, which has a Tyrannosaurus Rex edition or something going on right now. A Plague's Tale Innocence, City Skylines, and Age of Wonder Planetfall is the one that has the
That's the T-Rex thing?
Yeah. And Savage Journey to the Savage Planet is like a brand new game that just came out like last month, right?
Yeah, it looks a lot like No Man's Sky, kind of.
Yeah. And then the last one is Mud Runner. So that game has
good
a
old
big
Mud Runners.
Yeah, that game's got a big cult following. I always see like people streaming it and they have like hundreds of viewers.
I think
don't
that's
get
kind of
it.
like, it's like the weird
Farm Simulator.
exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Literally the same exact thing.
Or,
People are
what is it?
infatuated with it for some reason, and
18-wheel simulator, like those where they just drive a big rig around the United States.
Yeah, don't understand it. I will say, out of those games that you said, Planetfall seems like it would be good. Same thing with City Skylines. Anything that's not like super movement heavy and like action oriented or
But
perfect. Like
I think those are kind of text heavy, right? So it's gonna be hard to read all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because I started continued playing a little bit of Mutant Year Zero, and if you're not familiar, that's kind of like an XCOM game. I've been picking that up though because it's the perfect like turn-based tactical game, and it plays real well on xCloud. But yeah, I guess you're definitely right. The text is pretty small.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna have to like come up with some sort of patch for all these games in xCloud just to enlarge the text, or if that's something Microsoft would do, or if that would be something that developers would have to implement individually in each game.
Yeah, that was like, I picked up Darkest Dungeon on the Switch, and like the text for that was small when you were playing on like a 50-inch television.
Right.
So when it was on Switch, it was like, I need a magnifying glass to play my Switch now. Great.
Just guess and push buttons. It works well in that game, right?
No, not even close.
So, got one more story left, and it's a doozy. This one came up yesterday. So, Activision has subpoenaed Reddit in court over leaks for Modern Warfare. Essentially, they filed a subpoena against Reddit to reveal the identity of the user leaking all the Warzone info for the last couple months under the new Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And basically the DMCA subpoena allows a company to notify another company that copyright protected materials have been posted in some form on their own service, ostensibly compelling to that company to respond and take down infringing material. The DMCA protects companies like Reddit, YouTube, and other internet-based companies from legal damages if a user posts another company's content on their site, so long as they agree to comply with the subpoena. So they're making a judge basically say, give us this guy's info because he's costing us money by leaking all this information. I don't know how it's costing them money though, is it?
I don't think it could actually be costing them money. It's just this whole thing.
It's just a proprietary information that they're stealing at this point.
Well, what happened initially for this whole, because this whole thing's about the Warzone, like the Battle Royale mode that's supposed to be coming in Modern Warfare. And what happened is that people at the end of matches were getting kicked into lobbies with the training mode for the Battle Royale. Like
for
it was
glitch, right?
Their game that was literally kicking people into this area that they weren't supposed to be, and they were recording it because it's like, how did I end up here? Like, hey, does anybody know what this is? And that was where the initial, like this dude, the Gaming Revolution on Twitter, they shut down his whole Twitter account. Like he was putting out leaks.
Wow.
He put out this video. It was somebody else that gave him the footage of getting into the training mode, and he had all of his stuff shut down. Like,
so what's the difference between like these guys and Sabi that leaks all the Nintendo stuff, and that person has like won court battles saying that they're allowed to leak this information?
That I have no idea. I I couldn't tell you. I don't know the whole law side of games
yeah.
and intellectual properties and what can and cannot be shared or when it's supposed to. The thing for me is if it's your game that's broken and not even letting me, like, the dude that this happened to wasn't trying to break into the game or do anything wrong. He literally got in by accident and just took a video of the whole thing because it's like, whoa, what's going on? I think this new mode's here. And then it's like, oh, well, now we're all in trouble. Perfect.
You think they would just drop the mode, like do that kind of phantom? No hype, nothing. Yeah. Bang. Okay, here's all the links.
And I've been going back and forth with Dan about this because obviously he's hyped for the mode. And we're like, this is the biggest like PR nightmare I've ever seen. Like, this is the way that they haven't said a single thing about it, and there's so much information about the mode. There's the videos. People's accounts are getting like shut down, videos are getting taken off YouTube and copyright striked and all this stuff, and they refuse to say a peep. Even like the smallest message, like, hey guys, we are working on a new mode, I know you guys are all excited for it, look forward to more information in the future. Even something as vague as that is something, but they're just completely silent. And I think the reason is because they did want to do an Apex and just stealth drop it and be like, yo, it's here, and that would have blown people's minds that love Call of Duty. But now that's completely ruined because now everybody's just pissed that they're not saying anything and the mode hasn't just dropped already. And now time just keeps going and going, and it makes it worse and worse. And it's just, I would hate to be on that public relations team right now trying to figure out how to handle this whole situation.
Or this is their whole plan. It's just a guerrilla warfare type marketing that they just, okay, Jim's the leaker this week. Jim, go text somebody some information about the game and tell them to share it with everybody, but don't tell them who you got it from.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But then still just
building a frenzy. It's like, all right, everybody, can't take it anymore. Just drop it already, and then it's going to be the hottest game everybody's playing.
And there was definitely a plateau where everybody was at like peak excitement, and there was rumors that it was coming out Friday because we got a 50 gigabyte patch for this game, which is humongous.
And there's an empty spot in the middle of the game modes.
Yeah, they have a classified section, and it's just all of these things that led up to like, okay, we can wait a couple days since you guys did this stuff, but like, you don't put up a classified section everybody knows what it is, and then tell people, or well, not tell people anything, but make them wait like a month or something.
It's
like,
marketing.
Nobody's gonna be hyped for that. Your max hype potential was like the first week. Like, you had 7 days tops, I think, to just drop the stupid thing. And now they're not even saying anything. It's super frustrating. And now it looks like they're trying to go after people on Reddit. So fun.
I think it's working exactly the way they want it to. They're not having to spend any dollars on marketing, and people are talking about their game.
Not in a positive way, though. That's the thing.
Why is it not positive? They just want them to drop the,
No, because people are getting pissed that they're not saying anything. And they're banning accounts.
I'd agree with Moose if they didn't do going after someone and trying to get the information and take down videos. If they wanted to create, as you're saying, kind of that, not stealth, forget Apex's stealth drop, but kind of this whirlwind of super hype, you would be leaking a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, and then your grand plan is it pops out on say March 1st, whatever, bang, as soon as you load in that first day, it's there, and they haven't said anything, but they've just let the leaks keep going and going and going and going. I think them trying to fight the fire or put out the fire is detrimental to how they look, and you're potentially pissing off your community.
Right, and that's why I don't think it's like them doing all the leaking and stuff, because obviously you wouldn't be trying to shut down people's YouTube. Like, this is people's whole lives. Like, the people that are leaking this stuff, like that YouTube channel with 500,000 subscribers just gets shut down or something. It's like, that's people's livelihood you're messing with at that point.
And that's the other thing too, is it could backfire as far as them going after one person could, start a fire of hackers that all they want to do is leak all the information they have, and then everything's out.
Yeah, not a great situation. There was a right way to do it, and I don't think this was it. So.
Well, hopefully we only have to wait another 16 days or so from March 6th, and
Yeah,
we'll be
I think
playing
that's the
it.
potential. Hey, this might be
That was
leaked
the
now.
most recent leaked date that it's going to be released. So fingers crossed. And
Yep.
boys, I think that's the end of the news today. So
Oh God, you need that soundbite.
It's not a soundbite. I don't delete it. It's right there.
no, I tear,
Yeah,
Boom.
I,
The people
I tear
have
the
what
page
they want.
out every week.
I do. Right, so I guess the game's out this week. I shall get straight into it. So, games out for this week. You've got Mega Man Zero Legacy Collection, and that comes out on February the 25th on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. Wasteland Remastered on the same day is out on PC. 2 Point Hospital comes out on the same day again on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. We have AO Tennis, that comes out February the 28th on Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. And then Metro Redux is out on the 28th of February, and that's on the Switch too. I shall pause.
Yeah, there were a
So,
ton of games out this week. This is like the most games out that I've seen of the list in a while, but there are a lot of obscure ones too.
Yeah, I tried to pick some of the bigger names because we have had some poor games released. So this was the best out of a fairly substantial bunch.
Yeah, I would
for
say
once.
15 or 20 games coming out this week.
Yeah, it's a good week. We also have some games dropping into Game Pass. The Yakuza 0, the PlayStation exclusive, is finally here on Xbox. Kingdom Hearts 3. You have Ninja Gaiden 2. Wasteland Remastered. You also have 2 Point Hospital, which drops day and date into Game Pass. And Jackbox Party Pack 3. That's just come into Game Pass. I did have dates, but
I've
it. Lost all the dates. Well, I was going to not throw you under the bus.
I'll do that.
But yeah, I lost them all. We also have some PC Game Pass games coming in, and you have World of Horror. You have Reigns, Game of Thrones, Death's Gambit, and again, Wasteland Remastered is there. And we also have some new Switch games. So the Nintendo Online subscription, you have Smash Tennis, Pop and Twin B, Shadow of the Ninja, and that's Eliminator Boat Duel. And those are all coming on your free Nintendo Switch subscription.
Look at all those classics none of us have heard of.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. The only one that looks half interesting is Shadow of the Ninja, and that's only via the box art.
And you know the box art
tiny.
is super deceiving in
Yeah,
all
it's,
these
it's
older
an
games.
8-bit side scroller.
Well, yeah, that is true too.
All right, cool. That's going to do it for the news. New games coming out this week and Game Pass. This week is, however, a mailbox episode. So let's get into some mailbox. It's called Mailbag, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is called Mailbag. Do you want to redo that?
No.
No, I think
Leave
it's
it.
funnier if I leave it this
Yep,
way. and don't
mailbox.
cut this out. Mailbag.
You've got mail.
All right. This first question comes in from Chaotic. He says, with the news that Sony has struggled to keep production cost under $450 for the new PlayStation, would you rather see it launch this year at $600 or saying next holiday season at $500? The reason for the price cut would just be the internals of the system will be cheaper the longer you wait, obviously.
Well, yeah, like I reported last week, the mobile market is buying up a lot of the chips for the 5G market, and it happens to be the same ones that they use for the PlayStation. So,
bunch of jerks.
yeah.
How do you guys feel about this? You're paying for something that's going to be current. It's going to be as good as it can be at this point, but it's going to cost you $600. Or do you wait for something that will be kind of a year out of date, but pay $100 less a year from now? What do you do? What do you do here? Chocolate, start with you.
See, for me, I think if it does launch at 600, I think it's a no go. I think I think there's a peak price premium,
Right.
and I think if you're already going at say 600, that's not even including your game, your extra controller, any other bits and pieces you buy on the day. So I think that price is ridiculous. Personally, for me, I don't want to say 500 is okay, but 500 is the better option.
Yeah, it kind of feels like the cap. Like you can't expect people to pay much more for a console. So I think I'm on the same page as you. Like 500, and I'll take it next year, I guess.
Yeah.
How about you, Moose?
So I don't think PlayStation has announced their price for the PS5 yet.
No, these were speculated prices
right.
for sure.
And I want to say if they come out at 600, that's going to kill them, like it did with the PS3.
Yep, exactly.
It was too expensive. I think I was one of 3 or 4 people that had one the first year it was out, and it was not worth $600. There weren't any games to play on it. It was, it wasn't any better than the 360. In my opinion,
it was more expensive.
It was a lot more expensive. So I think
we're all on the same page with that one then.
Yeah,
just
if they come out at a $600 price point, it's going to kill Sony. So, and I don't think even if they retail it at 600, the next year it's going to be 600 again. It's not going to drop in price, I don't think.
But I mean, to be fair, you could exchange out Sony and put Microsoft on there. Microsoft will kill their console. I think any console that tries to launch
over
at that
500
price
is too much.
Dead in the water.
Yep.
Agreed. All right, moving on. This one comes in from Ludonian. He said, what is a Nintendo game missing from the Virtual Console that you'd like to see added? For me, it's Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I had so much fun playing that game as a kid. Do you guys play Zombies Ate My Neighbor?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, it's so good. That's a great answer. It was a co-op game, and you like ran around the neighborhood, and there you literally had like neighbors that were like doing dumb things like grilling or jumping on trampolines or swimming in pools, and you had to run over them to like save them. And then the whole time there's all these zombies coming at you. It's like the most cartoony, like it's not even super cartoony. I don't know. It's done super well for what it is. And that game's hilarious and a ton of fun. I think that's a great answer. But what about for you guys? Moose, we'll start with you.
All right. First, I got to say, Ladonian, thank you for answering your question. It's always appreciated. Gets us, the conversation going. But I've actually got a list of 3 NES games that I would love to play again. The first one being Captain Skyhawk. It's a top-down shoot-'em-up plane game that I just loved playing on the NES. And then the second one would be BC Surf and Sport, where you could do like skateboarding, surfing. There were like 6 or 7 different like California-style events. They were all just like summer beach events, like volleyball. That was a fun game. And then the third one would be Skate or Die.
Okay, that's sick. So it's really funny that first game covered volleyball and skateboarding, because my 2 games were Skate or Die, which agreed was fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was so awesome.
And Kings of the Beach was a volleyball game that I used to play with my dad like religiously. It was 2v2, and it was just like bump set spike all day on the NES, and there you could do tournaments, and it was so much fun. So the first game, what was the name of the first game?
Captain Skyhawk.
Or no, the one.
Oh,
with
BC Surf and Sport.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that
was a good one.
I'll have to look that up. But yeah, ton of fun. Skate or Die was so good, dude.
Right. Another good one was Super Dodgeball.
I never played it.
Oh, dude, you could whip balls at people, and if you hit them right, then they would die, and like a little angel version of their body would fly up off the screen. It was awesome.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Chocolate, how about you?
For me, I remember playing this game with my friend when I was younger, and it was WWF WrestleMania Challenge, and it just encapsulated my whole kind of childhood loving wrestling and kind of using Hulk Hogan, the Warrior. Oh, it was a fantastic game. You had the view as if you were the actual camera as it was being filmed, and it was a terrible game, but just the nostalgia from playing that, I'd love to play it again.
Was that NES or SNES?
NES.
Oh, nice.
The first Nintendo, it was,
Was never a big wrestling
just
guy,
like I
but
said.
sure.
I liked men in pants.
I do love my men in
You
pants.
liked?
Agreed.
Yeah, I was going to say hot and
You
sweat.
liked them there? Or you still do?
Moving swiftly on.
Please. This next one comes in from Kaboski. Are you more of a closet gamer / nerd, or do you wear it proudly on your sleeve? Chocolate, we'll start with you.
I think I want to say on my sleeve, but then I don't really talk about it with other people. So
Maybe if you...
Yeah, I don't know how to answer this one. For people who know me, yes, I talk about games all day long and how I love them. Few people at work don't know that I like playing games. A few people do.
So I would say you're kind of in between.
Yeah, I'm in the closet, but the door's slightly open. How's that?
I wouldn't expect anything else. Moose, how about you?
I would say I'm a closet gamer, but not by choice. Because nobody cares.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
No, it's just like I play video games and my friends are just like, whatever, dude. That's cool. Grow up. You know, do adult things. So I'm just like, well, if you got an Xbox, it'd be way cool. And they're like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So I try to, spread the word of games, but it's just I'm not very effective because nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, as far as my family goes, and at holidays and stuff, it's like I am a gamer, and my brother plays Call of Duty all the time. So, other than that, I don't think anyone really plays games. And people, whenever that question comes up, where it's like, "Oh, what have you been doing lately? What are you into?" It's like, well, I game, and there's a ton of games, and if you knew games, we could just be talking about new games or that kind of stuff. It's other than that, I don't have a ton to put, unless I'm into your hobby, it's kind of weird. You need to find this common ground to have good conversations with these people.
Yeah, try talking.
I get that completely because if someone said to you, what did you do while your wife was away? I'd be like, put the kids to bed, and then I gamed until I couldn't stay awake.
So, I mean, I think I'm lucky in that I'm surrounded in real life for the most part with coworkers that play games or friends that play games. I don't have a ton of people that I talk to regularly that don't really game.
All your friends are my gaming friends.
Right. So it's I'm lucky, and that allows me to wear it on my sleeve. When I was talking about going to holiday parties with my family or Meg's family, it's they all know I do a gaming podcast. They know I game all the time, so it's not I'm in a closet or anything. It's just that nobody wants to talk to me about video games because they don't care. Exactly what Moose said.
Yeah, it's both. I think my dad, my stepdad, and my father-in-law have all been so video games podcast, huh? What's that all about? I'm just well, I talk about video games, and that's about it. You can listen to it if you'd like, and then that's about the end of the conversation.
Right. It's if I say anything more, you're going to tune out. So let's talk about sports or something.
Yeah. Let's talk about what you want to talk about, because I know that's what you want to talk about.
Exactly. So I think those are all good answers. All right. Now, this next one comes in from Sweeney. With myself finding it tougher and tougher to find time to play games, how do you guys effectively balance real life with gaming? I'll start because I have the easiest answer. I don't have kids, so that obviously makes a ton of time.
And your significant other is gone half the time. And she's gone half the time.
And she works nights. So the nights that the days she's not working, I'll be well, what do you want to do? We can do whatever, because I have so much gaming time because we're on opposite shifts when she's working that I haven't had to deal with the whole balancing thing. So come back to me in a few years when I've had a few kids. Oh, no, not a few kids. That sounds like way too many. Maybe one or two. I'll answer this one then. But Moose, you have the most kids, so I'll let you go next. How do you handle balancing real life and not real life?
I just play games when the kids aren't around, or I'm a bad parent. I put them in front of tablets.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Like sometimes if after school, if my daughter's done with their homework and they've already done, whatever chores or picking up they need to do, if that's what they want to do is be on their tablet for an hour. I don't, let them watch junk. I let them watch Disney Plus. I let them watch educational things on YouTube and PBS. There's definitely safeguards in effect on their tablets, but I don't think letting them do that for an hour or two while I play Apex waiting for mom to get home isn't too detrimental.
Nah, for sure. I feel like
I
that's
just don't sleep is the other thing. Just stay up late.
Yeah, and I was gonna say a lot of people, like dads in our Discord and whatnot, that have like Switches. It seems like that's a perfect workaround where it's not like it doesn't need to be taking up the whole TV, so everybody knows it's happening. That kind of thing. It's just, or you can do it in bed when everybody's asleep. So definitely a good option.
Yeah, dude. I have had my Switch next to my bed for about a month now, just thinking I'm gonna play me some Pokemans,
and then you fall asleep.
I just lay down and shut my eyes.
Chocolate, how about you? How do you balance things?
So because my wife travels, it is the easiest. Well, I say easiest. It's the only time I get to game. Funny enough, she complimented me the other day. We had a week where she stayed at home. She had to nip out for work. I had to stay away, and she said to me, "Oh, that's the only time you've gamed this week." I was like, "Oh, I love you so much. Thank you." And thank you for not phoning me or harassing me during my game time. Yeah, it's kids asleep. I try not to play any games when my kids are around. But I have recently got my son into Rocket League somehow.
Yeah, that's a perfect game. Just drive the car around and try to hit the ball.
He can't even drive. That's the trouble. So the car just sits there. The camera goes round, and occasionally he jumps. But he kind of came up to me and was like, "Daddy, I want to play car football." And I was like, "Yep, let's go. Let's go."
Nice.
So yeah, sat there for 10 minutes doing nothing, and yeah, it was
At
fun.
least we can tell who taught him.
Yeah. Oh, you can't fly. Oh, you're so rubbish.
But yeah,
You're garbage.
That's another great way is just to include them in your playing. Because my oldest loves checking in on her garden in Viva Pinata.
Oh, what a game.
Yeah, I'll jump in there and, build a new habitat so I can breed some new sort of species and check some boxes and water some plants, and then it'll be time to go do something else.
Also, what a horribly deranged game.
Oh yeah, it's super weird.
But it's so fun. All right.
Good.
Okay. This next one comes in from Maze J. He says, "Any plans on having a podcast war, a competition again this year?" Chocolate, I'm gonna just throw this one to you.
Oh, why didn't we talk about this one before we started the podcast?
Because Moose and I are down for whatever you're down for.
As long as our schedules, if we can figure out a time that all of us around the world can link up at one time, then I'm absolutely for it.
So I would love to maybe have a battle. Again, it was quite enjoyable. Not the times we lost, but obviously the times we won. But yeah, I did quite enjoy doing that. So maybe, again, as Moose said, if it's all about timing and if we can fit it into a schedule, trying to schedule 6 people to do something is...
6 at a minimum.
Right.
Yeah, is almost an impossibility.
Yeah, the thing that Moose had brought up was like the 3 of us have a tough enough time just with our 8-hour difference in time zones to link up for a podcast once a week. So what are the chances that we can get 8 people with varying schedules all across the world to do something like this? But it's definitely worth us thinking about. So I'm glad that he wrote in and asked the question, because that'll get our brains churning. And we can definitely talk about it and try to figure something out, I think.
And we also need to figure out how we can, weigh the slopes here to get games that we're going to crush them at, because we definitely got suckered, or you guys definitely got suckered last year.
Yeah, we looked at the games to literal in one dimension.
It should be 4 games. We pick 2, they pick 2.
How about a fishing contest? You guys post your pictures in our Discord.
There you go. There it is. We figured it out. But yeah, thanks for the question, Maze J. We'll talk about it more and maybe have something in the next few weeks to announce or something like that. We'll keep you guys updated with if that's happening or not. All right, this next one comes in from Chaotic. He says, is there a choice in any game that no matter how many times you play through, you never change? His example was picking Ashley over Caden in Mass Effect 1. Have either of you guys played a game enough times to have this be even a question that relates to you?
No.
I was going to say, I rarely play through games multiple times. My only example would be with the Bloody Baron, because I've played that quest so many times that I can say that every time I I save his...
you bury him and save his soul, right?
Save his baby, the Blubberkin.
Yeah, you have to give him... Botchling.
Oh, yes.
You've got to give him a name and bury him so that his soul can rest at ease or something like that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
or you can choose not
I've always done that way.
Yeah.
But with his example, I think if I were to play Mass Effect multiple times, I would always pick Ashley over Caden. And I think that's... I don't know. Yeah, there's some things like he said that seems like a perfect example for something that I would always keep the same.
Yeah.
How about either of you guys?
I have not a specific game, but just like a way that I play games. For some reason, I have a hard time doing the wrong thing, like doing the bad
Being
or
a
the
jerk.
evil thing. Yes, I always have to do the honorable or the integrous thing, I guess.
So you've never punched the reporter in the face in Mass Effect?
No, but I accidentally blew some people's faces off in Red Dead 2, and that was unintentional.
Yeah, Red Dead wasn't great with that because there was, I feel like one button shot
Yeah,
the gun
the
and
conversation
also interacted
button,
with
and
things. There was multiple
exactly.
times that I ended up shooting at people on accident.
Yeah, and the auto aim goes straight to their face.
Yep. I was just trying to make him dance,
Yeah.
and I shot him in the face.
He just wanted a piece of gum, and he got no head.
Don't need the gum no more.
Nope.
Chocolate, do you have
chew
any
on that.
examples of this?
Funny enough, like Moose, I always play games like that the way my moral compass is at the time. So I normally go
At the
good
time.
guy. Well,
Does it waver, Bear?
sometimes you need to go renegade. Come on, Moose.
Oh,
sometimes.
Dark chocolate.
I know. So I normally go kind of good guy, but I've never gone through a game and played it twice to get the alternate ending or to go
Full heel.
go good guy or go bad guy,
Yeah.
to flip the whole script, because one, my memory is absolutely shocking, and two, I haven't got the time or patience to
Shockingly
sit
bad?
through. Yeah, my memory's god awful nowadays.
And if you do have time, it's like you're going to be playing different, like new games or something.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm new
There's a
games.
pile
I'm
on
gonna
my
play games that
backlog.
I'm enjoying.
Exactly.
Right.
So, not that I'm not enjoying that game, because that sounds
I think that
bad.
that may go back to because I think the last game that I played over and over again incessantly, other than sports games, was Halo 1, and that was just because I had Madden and Halo in my dorm in college, and that was it. And I had like $50 a week, so I wasn't buying any more games.
Yeah, and those aren't really like choice based in any.
Right.
Like
No.
maybe you could pick a different team in Madden instead of the Broncos.
No, that's not what you do either, ever.
Yeah, right. So we're all kind of on the same page then. All right, this one comes in from Castle. He says, chicken for breakfast. Why is it so amazing?
That's easy, because it's meat. Next question.
Chocolate.
Why would you eat chicken for breakfast?
Have you ever had
I
chicken
don't-
and waffles?
Now here is where we have the divide.
Or a chicken cordon bleu skillet or omelet? Oh, it's so good.
No, you have pork, you have bacon, you have sausages, you have hash brown, you
All
have baked
meats
beans,
are breakfast
you have
meats.
eggs. Oh,
I hate to side with chocolate and his beans with toast ideals, but
Then don't.
chicken is not for breakfast for me.
and also
Okay.
I'm not built like the Rock, who needs to have his protein in the morning.
That is not my reason for not liking chicken
No.
for breakfast.
Usually it's not a meal unless it has meat in it in my book. So
I will agree with that, but like Chocolate said, I think pork's where you're
Yeah.
where you should be.
Have
going
you ever
for your
had
breakfast meats?
dude, do me a favor.
Yep.
Go to Chick-fil-A and get either the chicken biscuit and put honey on it, or do the chicken minis that come in these little sweet rolls, and then tell me that chicken's not for breakfast.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't eat it. I'm just saying I'm going to choose something else off the menu. It's the same thing like steak and eggs is not something I do.
Oh, dude.
Although
What?
I know that's like a thing.
Steak and eggs. Oh my god,
So
Oh.
good.
so good.
I'm just basic. I'm a basic bee who just
Yeah.
wants
Just
bacon and
B&E.
sausage.
Just give him some B&E and put him on, send him on his day.
I did have, so we have this weird restaurant around us that it's called Funk and Waffles, and they have their iteration of chicken and waffles is it's a chicken wing that
Right.
the waffle is made around it, so
They
it
bread
comes
it.
out as like a chicken wing with
Waffle coating. It's like
coating,
a
I guess,
chicken
and you dip it in
corn
syrup
dog.
and eat it like that.
Yeah.
I had that once. It was good, but do I want that most of the time? Probably not. Not for me.
Don't know what you're missing. One time,
No, I did try it. I do know what I'm missing.
One time I had a burger called the Luther at a place called Crave, and the buns were glazed donuts.
I have seen that
it-
multiple times,
yeah.
and my heart just starts to like hurt a little. And
Yep.
I'm like, nope.
It's got like a
This will
quarter
be the
pound.
last thing I eat.
quarter pound of bacon, a fried egg. Oh, dude, it was so good, but it was such a mess.
Yeah, I could see that. I love eggs on burgers. That's one thing I will say. If it's like, if I didn't eat breakfast and lunch is my first meal and I'm at a burger place, a lot of times I will get a runny yolked egg
add
on
it
top
on
of my
top.
burger.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so sloppy and gross, but it's so good.
You betcha.
Yum.
So
I am
that's
so
why
hungry.
Castle,
I was gonna say I did not eat dinner yet. I am ready for dinner now.
because it's delicious. That's why.
Yep, fair enough. This one comes in from Scottman. How do you justify the cost of your gaming habits, if you have to your significant other? I compare it to a night out drinking, which works out to be way more expensive than 40 to 60 fake money for one game and lasts a damn sight longer.
Fake money.
Isn't that what that little
That's the
squiggly
fake
thing
money
is called?
sign, right?
Fake money?
Yeah, it's like Monopoly
Damn
money.
it.
Moose, how do you, do you have to justify it, first of all? And if so, how?
I don't necessarily have to justify it, but the boss lady will let me know when I am pushing the limits of my budget and say, wow, you spent this much money on games this month? You need to kind of chill, bro.
So you get like the flashing yellow light at the intersection. It's
Yeah,
like, maybe
pump
slow down a
brakes.
little bit.
Exactly. She doesn't necessarily tell me what to do, but at some point, if I, don't listen, she will shut off my credit card. So
That's
Should
fair.
Give you
Chocolate.
the look.
Chocolate, how about you?
For me, yeah, I'm with Scottman here. My wife does say to me, "Oh, you should go out more." Oh, this makes me sound like a hermit.
Sure did.
Oops. But I'm like, well, look, I could go out and go drink, and I'd probably spend a lot more, or I can have this, and this will last a lot longer.
And then you're
And-
staying in and being safe and not making poor decisions and ending
Well,
up in jail or anything like that.
Funny enough, I do use that as well, and I do say, and then I'll be fine, and I'm at home, nice and safe. And she's like, okay,
At least I'm not spending this money on hard drugs. That's all you gotta say.
yeah,
There's way worse hobbies to have.
exactly. It's
Scottman,
cheaper than crack.
if you're looking for excuses to buy games, get on a podcast.
That,
You
oh,
need to
I
say,
have to talk about
"Yeah,
something
I
new
got
this
it.
week.
Yep. Got to get it for the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not at a point in my relationship yet where I have to justify this kind of stuff because we don't have like joint bank accounts or anything because we're not married yet. So, again, just another question that doesn't really pertain to me. But I can't wait till I do have to talk about how much I spend on games because when I have her try out the VR and she's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool," I'm not telling her that, like, yeah, that thing costs $400 and we used it like a few times. And
got
the
it
games
sweaty.
are like $20 a piece, and luckily that doesn't show up on a joint bank statement
Not
yet.
yet.
So I'm just gonna keep spending as hard as I can these next 10 months or 8 months, however long it is. And then we'll come back to this question later. Can't wait. And that's the other thing I will say is that you guys all have kids, and kids are expensive. So that would also take away. I'm probably setting myself up for failure here pretty bad.
Well, you've got a lot of things that you can sell, so you can buy some more diapers.
True.
Yeah.
If this room ever burns down with all of my technology, we are in trouble. All right, this last question comes in from Ledonian. He says, what weapons do you wish were mandatory for every game to incorporate? His examples were lightsabers and miniguns. You guys have anything in particular? Chocolate, I'll start with you.
He said it, a lightsaber in every game.
That's all I want in like my Blackout games. Just some dudes lighting me up with an AR up on a hill, and I just whip out a lightsaber and reflect some bullets back at him. That'd be awesome.
You son of a yeah! And can you imagine the final battle, you versus someone else, and it's just two lightsabers?
Like the epic Jedi music just kicks in if it knows that two people have lightsabers at the end of the game. Oh my god, we need a Star Wars Battle Royale game. Why isn't Battlefront doing this?
50 Jedis fall from
exactly.
But yeah, if you don't say lightsaber, possibly there's something wrong with you.
Moose, how about you? Do you have anything?
Not lightsaber.
Okay, fair.
I don't know, man. Like, I think everybody, like, they kind of all do, but you should have some sort of special melee finisher type deal.
Oh,
in
what's
every
kind
game.
of like a Mortal Kombat end?
Yeah, like they have in Apex,
or like Apex.
And what other new game do they have a finisher in? I can't remember. Well, they have them in Titanfall, don't they?
They added finishers into well, yeah, they had them in Titanfall too.
Yeah.
They also just added them into Blackout. Is like something you can.
That's
I
right.
did it on accident last time I was playing. It's like, what? It's a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
think every game should have some sort of finisher like that.
Yeah. My two examples come from or my two weapons, I should say, come from Half-Life. I think a gravity gun is always nice, just pointed at stuff to move stuff or move things around, or the portal gun. I think would be, I mean, it would break most games, but would be a ton of fun, like in all games. But I guess those are pretty gimmicky compared to something like, well, I was gonna say like a lightsaber, but that also feels gimmicky if it can just knock back bullets at everyone.
Right. Yeah,
I was thinking the epic kills you could do with a portal gun.
Right? Oh my god!
Just
Like,
drop
point
the
it at your
floor
feet
out
to make the
from
one
under 'em.
portal, and then shoot it through a
Yeah.
window on a wall, and then you just like end up right behind a guy in a battle royale game. Like,
God.
awesome.
Or put a portal in somewhere or under somebody's feet and then drop them right in front of a train.
Yeah, or that exactly, dude. The possibilities are endless. I think we need Portal Battle Royale.
Good one.
50 guys with portal guns fall out of a plane.
That would be immense.
It'd be so much fun. So many good clips. Everybody, thank you for the questions. Those are all. That was a lot of really good questions. So shout out to you folks for sending those into us. We do our mailbag episode at the end of every month. We put out notices for it in Discord. So if you ever have any questions for the show, hop into Discord. We have the mailbag channel right there. Post your questions, and we'll get them read on the show. So yeah, shout out to you guys for sending in some great questions this month.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All y'all. All right, that's gonna do it. This is what a good show, and we're gonna keep it under 2 hours, and it's a mailbag episode. That's fine. All right, make sure head on over to Apple Podcasts, rate us, give us 5 stars, do all those great things that we love you guys for. If you want to hang out with us on the daily, head on over to Discord. It's where we all hang out, chat, do all that fun stuff. Links for Discord are in the show notes. If you'd like to support the show with your hard-earned money, head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. We obviously have some free content coming up this week, so go check that out. You don't need to be a subscriber for that, so just go look over some of the stuff we've posted, look over the tiers, all that fun stuff. Our next Patreon episode is in 2 weeks, so plenty of time to get in for the game drawing that we do monthly.
$25 gift card.
Yep. My bad. Gift card drawing. Sorry about that. That is one of our goals, though. So if we get back up to the goal that's set in Patreon, we will be giving away a game every month. So go over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Check that stuff out. Another way you can support the show, if you head over to our merch shop, which is through Spreadshirt, you can buy cross-Atlantic gaming gear, hoodies, snapbacks, bags, socks, all sorts of fun things. Go check that stuff out. Links for that will be in the show notes as well. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, we are at CAG Podcast. And lastly, if you need to reach out via email for whatever, cagpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to get a hold of me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
Chocolate Bear 80 everywhere.
And Moose.
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
Take care.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, I'm giving up drinking for a month. Sorry, that came out wrong. I'm giving up drinking for a month.
Sad. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Rippities.
Rippities who?
Rippities close and you gonna pay.
That's terrible.
How do you get a country girl's attention?
How?
A tractor.
Oh, because she thinks your tractor's sexy, huh?
Okay. What does a grape say when it's squashed?
What?
Nothing. It just lets out a little whine.
Oh.
Why are elevator jokes so classic and good?
Why?
Because they work on so many levels.
Oh, damn it. I'm out. I've got nothing else.
All right, knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Spell.
Spell who?
Spell who?
WHO.
Oh, shit.